Okay, there we go. So first off, from facilities, we've had a lot of host facilities that have signed up to join this, and then basically have players at their academy. There's a few requirements to be a host facility. The first is really that you just have to have a pitching machine. We actually just dropped this down from a minimum pitch speed of 65 miles an hour from 70 to 65. So that was just to accommodate some people that had shorter cage lengths with a very quick reaction time from a 40 or 45-foot throwing distance. So if you have a pitching machine that's capable of reaching 65 miles an hour, which is recorded at the plate, not out of the hands. So there we go. We got
Hey, Mike. Got the real Mike now.
How you doing?
Surprise appearance there. Here we go.
I'm signed in as you, so there's two of us.
Go get them. Go get them, everyone.
Thanks. So first off, the pitch speed requirement, again, 65 miles per hour minimum. That can be manual feed or automatic, unless you also have a coach that can chuck the ball in there. We are capturing the pitch speed at home plate. You can also have an automatic feed or manual feed. That's not really going to make a difference. We are asking for high-speed internet. There's not necessarily a spec requirement for that. If you are running a commercial business and you have internet, you're going to be fine. If you're running a hotspot, that's not probably not going to suffice. For the qualifying, it might, but for bracket play, we do plan on doing live streaming, which is why under that portion, you also see the webcam listed. And the webcam could be an iPad, a tablet, or a GoPro. Also could be an iPhone, to be honest with you. But we would prefer some sort of tablet device with a higher quality image. Because Tom, our marketing guy in the background, has been working on some pretty cool streaming software. So we're going to try and stream hopefully every bracket play game, as well as the semifinals and the finals. So pretty simple there. To register as a facility, just visit our website, HitTrax.com. You'll see the Model pop up, and you will be able to fill that out and put your facility address and all of that. After you've signed up and after you have players that are participating, I'm going to swap the share here and actually show you on our website. This is a private tournament, so we are going to send an invitation out. So once you're locked in, your facility's locked in, and we have players signed up at your facility, we're going to send you that invite, and it's going to come via your email. So whatever your admin email is, keep an eye out for that, because your invite will get sent to there, and you'll be able to click a link that'll take you right to the page that I'm on. If you're not familiar, you all should hopefully have an online user ID and password, and you'll log into our website with that. If we go to the main HitTrax page, for all
the one that's just updated their system, that's the one that you kind of use for that. Either you create a new one or you used a past one. So you should be pretty familiar with it, at least in the last month or two here.
If you have no idea what we're talking about too, call your rep, because it's very easy to get squared away. So if once you get that, if you pop up here, this is our beautiful Model that you've probably seen for the past few weeks. If you're a player that has not registered, all you have to do is hit register today there at the bottom, fill out some info. There's no cost. This isn't legally binding or anything. So if you can't make it, don't worry about it. But you'll register there. Same for facilities. Once you're registered, then you can go to your account, and we can go to our game center. I'm going to go to my organization and then visit the game center via the top left corner. There's a tab here that's called Series. So most of you have probably seen this page, but if I drop down Game Center, you can go to Series and then Host Manager. And this is where you'll see any invitations here. So you see we have some test brackets here. I've got the HitTrax Open Bracket Test, as well as the HitTrax Open Qualifier Test. So I've been invited to these, and on the right side, you see a hamburger menu that you will click, and all you have to do is click Accept Invitation, send in some information there, and submit it, and now you're good. So any players that have registered under your facility, their name will now automatically appear within the software. And that's within the gaming module. When they go in, they will be a registered team. They're ready to play. Did I miss anything there, Bob?
No, you covered it all there. Yeah, and again, it might be a little confusing for some people who aren't familiar with that software there. Any questions at all, any confusion, just let us know. You got your rep's contact. You can contact us through the general line. Doesn't matter. It's easy for us to help and be happy to do it.
Excellent. Okay, so let's pull up our PowerPoint one more time. So we were talking about facility requirements. Again, make sure you have that pitching machine. Make sure you have decent internet. Again, commercial grade internet is going to be just fine. You know, no megabyte speed requirement on that. Just try not to use a hotspot. That's really what we're asking for, and have a webcam. On the player side of things, for all you players that have signed up to play, very easy. You just must have played professional baseball in 2019 or 2020. That's MILB affiliated ball, independent baseball, both in the U.S. And outside the country, so international players, and also players selected to play in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Basically, if you got paid to play baseball last year or this year, you can play. And again, all you have to do, going back to the last page on the website, visit the website, click register. You're going to be able to select a host facility near you. You'll be able to type in a host facility if you know which one you want to go to. And if you don't, just indicate that. We will reach out to you and we will help you find a facility that meets the requirements to be able to compete. This is not too difficult, the rules and regulations either. So I talked about the pitching machine. We really just need a pitch velocity coming in measured with HitTrax at a minimum of 65 miles an hour. Again, if you're familiar, the HitTrax plate speed, the velocity is captured at the plate for the pitch. So your machine might be at 70, 75, maximum of 85 miles an hour. If you have a hit that occurs outside of that threshold, there is an automatic setting in there that will not count that hit towards your game. So make sure you have a decent range, maybe bump it up a couple miles an hour above 65 so you don't go below that threshold. Wood bats only. Wood composite bats are allowed, but no metal bats. On our website, it said no composite bats. I think that was kind of indicating metal bats and metal composite bats, but wood composite bats are allowed as those are allowed all the way up through AAA. And then please just use leather baseballs. If you have rubber dimple balls, that's just fine. They're going to produce a lower exit velocity, but there will not be any sort of compensation for those hits. If there are, first off, if you're a facility and you're hosting a player and you know you're going to be hosting some players, please call us to make sure your system's calibrated. I'd say if you haven't done it in the last, I don't know, what do you think, 2 or 3 months, probably a good idea to reach out to get everything squared away, just to make sure everything's fine-tuned, that you're up to speed. There's no reflections in the field of view, and we're going to look good, because if there's a hit that misses on the system, there's nothing we can do about that, right? You're just going to have to get ready for the next pitch, and you're going to miss out on that one. The trickier one is if there is an errant hit or a tracking, which is rare, but especially if your system is well calibrated. But for example, if a player pops a ball up and it hops down in front of the system, and we've all probably seen this a couple times, or if a player's picking up balls and they throw the ball out, if that hit is read as a little ground ball to the catcher in the qualifying round, we're not going to be able to do anything about it. That is how, it is what it is. But you're going to have 3 games, 6-inning games, to be able to score runs. So over the course of 18 innings, that should be reduced pretty darn well, and we're going to accumulate your point total with next. So just, again, make sure your system's well calibrated. For bracket play, we're going to try to have a HitTrax rep, Bobby, myself, Elena, Mike, Tom, whoever it might be, our guys Justin and Phil back at the office, remoted in to be able to see anything happen in real time, and we will essentially be the umpire and figure out if something happened and if it deserves to be removed as a play and be redone. So we'll be the final judge of that. No arguments there.
Yep, we've got a lot of questions, even just personally reaching out to me, people asking about fair play and making sure people are using the right bats, right balls, all that. Unfortunately, we can't really regulate that in that qualifying round. We will be able to see people's stats if they are outrageous compared to what they're used to, stuff like that. But yeah, the bracket play, when we get those top 32, we're going to be wired in, we're going to be seeing video, we're going to be talking with these people. So shouldn't be any hint of foul play there. Should be good.
Okay, continuing on with that. So those are the general outlines again. The first round, the qualifying round, is going to start on August 17th. There is no set schedule for this, but from August 17th through August 23rd, these players will be able to play 3 6-inning standalone games. We've talked about this before with our Friday night fights. So the player is going to go in by themselves. It's a single-player team, and they're going to play their half of a 6-inning game. If they score 10 runs, they score 10 runs, and then they go on to game number 2. And we're going to total how many runs they score over those 3 games, over those 18 innings, which will all have a 20-minute time limit each. And that will be their cumulative score that goes on the leaderboard, factoring in if they will advance to the second weekend. They can play these games at any time. So players, if you show up on Monday and you play 1 game and you have to leave, you can come back to the facility on Tuesday or on Thursday or Friday. Or you can play all 3 games in a row if you want to. I don't think I'd recommend that, but I'm also not as in shape as most of you guys are. So the 3-game cumulative score will go towards the Game Center leaderboard, and we are taking the top 32 players in the country. So if you make that threshold, you are advancing to essentially the second weekend bracket play, which we will get to next. If there are any tiebreakers on the runs scored, what we will do for both seeding and for advancing, we're going to take the highest quality hit point total for all games played. So the quality hit game is we factor in velocity, launch angle, distance, and result, put it through all in this long equation and give you a point value for every hit. So in the background, we're going to tally a point for every single hit. And at the end of your games, we'll have a total point value for you. So that will ultimately be your tiebreaker. So if you score 10 runs and you're hitting bloop singles and another guy scores 10 runs, hitting lines in the gap, then he might have the edge advancing to that second week. And again, if you have questions, feel free and shout them out. I know a lot of you are probably watching on YouTube. We don't have questions on there, but type it out here and Bobby can get back to you, and we'll run through some at the end as well. So after the first weekend, if you are one of the top 32 players that advances to bracket play, we're going to have a single elimination start where the number 1 seed is going to play the number 32 seed. 2 is going to play 31, so on and so forth. The first round, they're going to play, all of these rounds, they're going to play head-to-head games using online sync play, which means they will get a time that they're going to play each other, the 1 seed and the 32 seed. They're both going to play at 12 o'clock Eastern. They're going to match up at the facility at that time, and they're going to be able to see each other score with a picture-in-picture mode, and they're going to play head-to-head. At the end of the game, whoever scored the most runs wins. And if there's a tie, it just goes to extra innings. So this is just straight up a baseball game, playing head-to-head against somebody using that online sync play. The first round, the second round, and the third round are going to be 6-inning games, single elimination. So if you lose, you're out. Just straight up. If you do the math on the totals, it's 3 wins to advance to the semifinals. Each round here, you're making more and more money as well.
Anyone that hasn't seen, if you're making it to the semifinals, that's guaranteed at least $1,000. Third and fourth place, $1,000. So we're not messing around here.
It goes up exponentially. So if you make it to that second weekend, you'll see here shortly, you get $100 on the dot, and it's going to go up very, very quickly after that. Especially in these rounds. So the semifinals and the finals, these are going to be best of 3 series, also using that sync play function. So the top 4 players are going to go head-to-head, and they're going to play best of 3 games, 6-inning games. First player to win 2 games moves on to the championship. Same thing with the finals, a best of 3 game series, 6-inning games. The first player to win 2 games ultimately is the champion, and they're walking away with $10 grand. For live streaming, Again, I mentioned this a little bit earlier. We want to try and live stream every single one of these games, and you're going to be able to see them on our website in the game center. You're going to be able to see the live scores of the games as well as the videos of them. That's why we want to make sure you have some decent internet there. But these semifinals and final games will all be live streamed. Tom showed us the format today, and it is beautiful. So, make sure the facility is looking good. If you need to do any extra spiffing up, it's going to be a pretty sweet layout. And on to the money. So again, if you make it to the second round, if you are one of the top 32 players, you're guaranteed $100. So you're going to get $100. If you win, if you win 2 games, if you make it to the round of 8, if you win 2 games, you are bumped up to $400. So you're getting $400 right away. If you happen to win that game, if you win 3 games, then you jump up to getting a guaranteed $1,000 for making the semifinals. That semifinal matchup, if you win, you're going to get guaranteed $4,000. So we're talking about a $3,000 jump there with the opportunity to turn that into a $10,000 grand prize. So straight up, no bones about it. If you win this thing, you're getting 10 grand. And you can see incrementally, this is going to go up quick. And those games later in the bracket are going to be intense. There's going to be a lot of money on the line. And again, we're going to be live streaming all of that action. It should be pretty sweet. We are very excited about the list of players that we have so far.
Yeah, we are pumped. We got some dudes in there. We know it's going to get pretty intense. And these are big-time professional athletes. So we're pumped to see what we can get here.
So if you know somebody, if you're a facility, a lot of facilities have been wondering, okay, how do I get players on? Well, go ahead and get the word out yourself. If you need help marketing this, talk to us, to get the word out, to get players signed up. Again, we've got a phenomenal roster so far. If you know any other professional players, minor leaguers, indie ballers of the like, let them know there's still time to sign up. They just need to visit the website, get locked in, and pick their facility. So on top of this, if you are the facility with the player that wins the tournament, you are getting a $500 cash prize. So there is an incentive there to ultimately be the host facility with the winner. Straight up $500 cash from HitTrax. All of these players will also get discount codes to both our sponsors, which again are Marucci and Lizard Skins. And then if they advance to the second weekend, they should be getting some swag from Lizard Skins, as well as the top 2 finalists getting a pretty sweet custom bat from Marucci. So quite a bit of stuff on the line here. Bobby, did we get any questions or anything that we missed there?
No live questions right now. But I think we covered most of it. I mean, as we said, if you guys have any confusion or any questions on this stuff, then feel free to reach out to us directly, social media, anything like that. We've been posting about it nonstop. We're obviously psyched about it, but a lot of the info is there as well. This entire webinar, this entire PowerPoint is going to be up there. But really, it's incredibly easy. As Andrew said, it's once you have this interest from the player, tell them it takes minutes to get on there. If you guys are players, obviously go to HitTrax.com. Very easy. There's a modal that pops up right there. It says register now, and after a couple of minutes, you're good. And then once you're in the facility that day, the facility should be ready to go, and you play your 6 innings, your 3 6-inning games, and there you go. You have a chance for the top 32.
What's your over under on the total runs to win the championship? Call it. Well, let's say that. Let me ask you this question: for the qualifying round, what do you think the cut's going to be? What's the minimum number of runs you got to score to advance to the second week? What's your over/under?
All right, so we don't have much gauge other than we saw Courtney Hawkins and Cody Clemens face off against each other. That was a 6-inning game. They're obviously both dudes. What did they get? It was like 20-something runs in one of those.
It was like 30 to 20-something. Yeah.
Yeah, and granted, we increased the pitch speed a little bit from there. So we're talking. That's one game. Obviously, I think people are going to get a little bit tired if they do them the same day. I mean, I don't know. I think the top's going to be around 40 to 50 total. And then maybe the cutoff, I would say around 20.
Okay, 20 total runs to advance. I might go a little north of that. I was going to say 50
the
to
70 mile an
70.
hour, the 65 mile an hour is going to be tough. It's coming in hot.
Yeah, that is true. I'm putting my over under at 50.
Really? For the cut, for the cut.
For the cut to get to the second weekend.
Yeah.
But we'll see. So if you know somebody that can score 50 runs, or in Bobby's case 20 runs in 3 games, sign them up. It's a guaranteed $100.
I mean, damn, you never know what's going to happen. These are professional ball players. Anytime in the last 2 years, if they've been on an indie ball team anywhere in the country, anytime you're getting any sort of paycheck there, any of those leagues, minor league, I mean, anyone could have a good day. Give it a shot.
Did you see our guy Hawk just shot it out? He said guys will definitely get tired. Runs will be upwards of 40 to 60 plus.
That's what I was thinking, but I don't know. Like that's for the max. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, Hawk, what'd you have? You had 20 something, 30 in your fresh game. I feel like you'd get a little tired, maybe end up around 50 to 60.
I think you're right. I think 50.
Please don't beat me up, Hawk. I still think you're a great player, but yeah, I think we're talking around 50 to 60. Yeah.
So that's the strategy. You gotta space it out. Don't play them all in one day unless you have to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys. He raised his hand. Okay, I think that's just a question. I don't know exactly what that is. All right. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you joining. If there's any other questions, reach out to your HitTrax rep or contact us through the website, through social media. Again, we are very, very excited about this event, and there's still time to register. So if you know players that want to get in on the action, chance to win some money, have them visit our website, let them know where they want to play. If they need a facility, we will hook them up, and we look forward to kicking things off on Monday.
All right. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, everyone. Let's get it rolling next week.
All righty. Thanks, Bob. Let's